Coming up.
Bloody hell, 5,000 and something.
At least you've set the bar low.
Speak for yourself, love, blimey.
No, I like him already.
Jazz hands are good.
Roll the wildcard generator.
Do you want to try that again, love?
How do you say that?
That's how much time I waste.
Bite you on your ass.
Can you imagine Mark reading that for 5 minutes?
Don't change a thing.
All right, let's give it a go.
Of course it's magic.
God, we're a couple of old maids, aren't we? My God.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that? Hello and welcome to today's episode of How Do You Say That, sponsored by BritishVoiceover.co.uk, the podcast for voiceovers, podcasters and anyone else with a professional interest in how your script should sound. Let me introduce my giggling co-host in the background, Samantha Boffin. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Now, today's fun fact about Sam is that she is a massive fan of Bake Off, but then so am I love that.
Do you? It's the only reality show I watch.
Oh, I do like Sewing Bee as well.
Actually, no, I quite like Sewing Bee. God, we're a couple of old maids, aren't we? My God. Bake Off and Sewing Bee.
Speak for yourself, love, blimey.
And my co-host is Mark Rice, who wastes far too many hours playing Toon Blast on his phone.
Oh, I do. When I'm bored or I'm waiting
What
for a
is
train
Toon Blast?
or anything.
What is Toon Blast?
It's like a little game where you put the blocks together and you smash the blocks out of the way. And I'm on level 5,000 and something. That's how much I play it.
Bloody hell, 5,000 and something.
I've got my phone here, so as of today's date, I am on level... it's just coming up now. 5,351.
No.
That's how much time I waste.
What's the one with the fruits in it? That one.
Oh, I know the one you mean. Yes, it's not that one.
Well, whatever it is on that one, I'm on level 42 and I've been playing it for years. Yes, clearly not very good at that.
Heavens. Well, of course, it's not just us. Every week we invite a voiceover guest to come and share their opinions and, of course, their massive talent. And this week, it's voiceover Richard Savage. Hello, Richard.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here. So, Sam, tell us about Richard.
Well, Richard was originally from the UK, but he moved to the Czech Republic in 2002 to become an English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Then he became a voiceover artist in 2010, reading audio guides for destinations around the Czech Republic.
Nice.
See? And he's gone on to voice countless audio guides and corporate promos, many of which he also translates and proofreads, as well as doing radio imaging, commercials, e-learning and character voices.
Because Richard was also a musician, he already had the studio equipment and audio engineering know-how when the pandemic hit in 2020, and now he records and produces voiceovers almost exclusively from home. That's brilliant, Richard. So do you have a fun fact for us?
I do have a fun fact. That I was the lead singer and guitarist in a, let's say, mildly successful pop-punk band in the 1990s.
No, so which band?
The band is called Who Moved the Ground, which is probably why we were never famous. But we did support in 94, I think it was.
Yeah.
We had a support slot for a fairly well-known band called Oasis.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
No.
That's
way.
amazing.
So you actually went out there into the big gigs and supported Oasis?
It was at the Old Trout in Windsor, if I remember rightly.
I know the Old Trout. Oh my God, I saw Julian Clary at the Old Trout in Windsor. How bizarre is that? Anyway, that's going back a bit.
Yeah, it was just after they released their first single, I think.
That's incredible.
We had no idea who they were.
How amazing to be there at the very start of that journey, though. You must look back on those days and think, wow.
They never lost the arrogance.
And who can blame them? Who can blame them?
Exactly.
Oh, well, let's have a look at our first script of the show and ask, how do you say that? Play, how do you say that?
This is an absolutely hilarious script. I
Is
saw
it?
your script. It
Is
is not a hilarious script.
Oh, okay. I thought it was quite technical then.
No, I saw Richard's script and I thought, that's a lovely script. And so I thought, well, I need to give him something different.
Complex and contrast.
Yeah, this is all about airspace.
Right, okay.
Actually, now I think about it, although it was only last week, I can't actually remember recording this. Isn't that bizarre?
Are you sure you've actually done it?
I absolutely have, because the reason that I knew I had is because I put the invoice in for it. So I definitely recorded it.
Well, it's quite funny because somebody wrote to me last week and said, I've received the invoice, but I can't find the audio. And it's that the audio had fallen into their junk file. And it's like, no, I have actually sent the audio. So it does happen
fantastic.
sometimes. This seems quite technical. I've done a few things for Heathrow Airport when they were getting planning permission for the new airport and stuff like that. So all very technical stuff for the consultation and that kind of thing.
Yes. Well, this is also for Heathrow, funnily enough.
Ah.
I think it was more about engagement and political engagement rather than something
Right.
that was terribly technical.
Okay.
There were technical things in it. But anyway, the reason that I chose it is because actually, on the paper, it isn't the most exciting of scripts.
No, true.
So it takes a lot to actually bring it to life. So
Do we know what kind of pictures there are to it? Do we know what the audience is?
well, the audience is an internal audience, I believe.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. No, I haven't got the faintest idea what the
pictures
were to go with it, if I'm absolutely honest with you.
All right. Well, so we don't have an awful lot to go on, to be fair.
No, you have very little to go on, actually.
Sometimes it's like that, Richard. Sometimes we just get no clues at all.
There is a lot of information there. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
We vaguely know who the audience is. We think it's about an airport and political things, and that's about it, really.
All right. Well, I'll give it a go from that limited information.
Yeah,
That's the
I
thing.
genuinely didn't have much. It was a very quick turnaround job, and I had so little. I can't even remember doing it. That's how bad that is.
Fair enough. There's something in this script that says MAT 1212.
Yep.
Do we know how to pronounce that?
Yep, MAT 1212.
MAT 1212.
That was going to be my question as well.
Well, sometimes you just got to ask the question, Richard, haven't you? That's the thing. Occasionally I forget, and then Sam goes, "Oh no, it's not that at all." All right, let's give it a go. Airspace change is complex. It's highly technical and often difficult to understand. The MAT 1212 guidance isn't easy to navigate, along with the expectation to coordinate with neighbouring airports. With the bar set high for Stage 3 consultation, political engagement is key. Local and surrounding authorities have strong opinions, not to mention high-profile MPs. And with the potential change of government before January 2025, the political picture is complicated.
Nice.
That was good, but slightly gloomy.
I mean, the words are slightly gloomy,
Yeah.
but yes, I understand what you mean.
I suspect, I may be wrong, but I suspect they'd probably want it warmed up from that. I would imagine.
Fair.
Because, yeah, I think because it's so gloom and doom, you've got to kind of, I don't know, but I mean, as far as I know, I'm not going to get it back to do.
Yes, it was only last week. It's like, we need more gloom and doom, Sam.
We need more gloom and doom.
Yeah, I did think it was a little bit depressing.
Yeah.
It didn't make me excited for Airspace at all.
No, how long was the piece in total, Sam?
I can't remember. No, it was. It's terrible, isn't it? Sorry. It's probably about 5 minutes.
Oh, gosh, so this is a very small bit
This
of
is
a
a
much
very,
longer
very
bit.
small
okay,
bit
yeah,
of
yeah,
a much
wow.
longer piece.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine Mark reading that for 5 minutes?
God, that's what I mean.
I think it would have had to get lighter after that point. It would have had to. Lord. Okay. Well, Richard, I'm gonna let you have a crack at it. Now knowing that it's still very dull, but we want it brighter than that.
Brighter. Yes.
At least you've set the bar low.
Thank you. I try my best. Who invited Richard again? What was
No, I like him already. I love him already. No, don't change a thing.
Okay. Airspace change is complex. It's highly technical and often difficult to understand. The MAT 1212 guidance isn't easy to navigate, along with the expectation to coordinate with neighbouring airports. With the bar set high for Stage 3 consultation, political engagement is key. Local and surrounding authorities have strong opinions, not to mention high-profile MPs. With the potential change of government before January 2025, the political picture is complicated.
Oh, you
Ooh,
warmed it up
lovely.
beautifully.
That was really trustworthy as well. I really like that.
Thank you.
And actually, surprisingly pacey.
Yes.
You know, it didn't. I thought that really gave it quite a lot of energy. Actually,
Yeah, well, I thought, Mark read it quite slowly, and it
Yeah.
did drag it a little bit, so...
yeah.
I'll just go out now. I'm looking forward to the wild card. You never know.
Get your coat, love.
I did like Stage 3 consultation, the way that you did that, because you took you took it as really as if, okay, 1 and 2 have gone. This is what we're looking forward to now, and it was a
Yes.
real kind of high point. That I like that.
Yes.
So it was warm, it was pacey, it was, well, much more close to Sam, your read, I suspect.
Yes, possibly better actually than my read, I can tell you. But let's go for it. Yes, okay. Airspace change is complex. It's highly technical and often difficult to understand. The MAT 1212 guidance isn't easy to navigate, along with the expectation to coordinate with neighbouring airports. With the bar set high for Stage 3 consultation, political engagement is key. Local and surrounding authorities have strong opinions, not to mention high-profile MPs. And with the potential change of government before January 2025, the political picture is complicated.
Yeah, you had a big smile there, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, that was very friendly.
Yes, and it was the one thing I definitely didn't read it with a smile, but that did come across very friendly, as you say, Richard.
I was just... I suppose that there was a temptation, because it was so long, to play with the words a little bit more, to be more, I hate to use the word, to be more conversational as opposed to informational.
It did feel a lot less technical because it was so friendly and nice.
I think you might have assumed who the audience is for, and I think you might think it is for, I don't know, people who are actually part of the consultation. I obviously went a bit duller with my audience there.
But don't most audiences want to be entertained?
It depends what it is. Doesn't it depend what it is?
No, I always think entertainment first. Entertainment above everything. Yeah. Otherwise, otherwise, why get you to do it at all?
Because we are serious voices that bring across the information, surely.
Do you not have to do that with a level of entertainment? I mean, it's a serious question. I don't mean jazz hands all the time, but, in effect...
Are you sure you don't? Because, jazz hands do appear sometimes.
Jazz hands are good.
Yes, they are good, but I'm not sure they're necessarily what's wanted on everything. I totally agree with your criticisms that yes, I went in way too solemnly on this one, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm just wondering, there are some scripts that don't maybe lend themselves to that level of quote-unquote entertainment.
I wonder, if I don't smile like a madman, I sound funereal.
Okay,
I sound like
sense.
I'm a funeral director. So perhaps I have to bring a level of entertainment to things, or they're all going to sound, so maybe you've got a jollier voice in the first place. Jolly is not in my repertoire.
And of course, Richard, you've got a fairly light-sounding voice. You have a young-sounding voice. So I think that kind of naturally lends itself to something as serious as this.
And lifts it.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think maybe not entertainment as such, but just bringing the humanity to it, I think, is why people ask us to do it.
Entertainment, infotainment.
Actually, I think that's a really nice point, the humanity.
Because most of the scripts I read are very dry.
But that's so important now.
Yes.
I suppose it's been important always, but I think it's a really good stance to take, actually, Richard, because that's all we have to offer in the end.
How do you say that?
It's worthwhile remembering that these are real scripts we've been working on, but we've changed names and some details to avoid copyright issues.
Indeed, yes. And Richard, in fact, you've brought a real script and we haven't changed it because you've got permission from the writer on this one, haven't you?
I did, yes, the writer and producer of the film that this comes from, yeah.
Excellent stuff. It's a lovely little script, this. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, it's for a short film that was made for a competition called Straight 8, if there are any filmmakers around who might know that.
Right.
Where a film is made on Super 8 film, where all the editing is done in camera, and then they send away the film, and they send away the audio for the film separately, and hope that they match up when they come together.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Does that mean that when you're doing voiceover for something like this, you have very specific timings already?
They were quite specific about how long each sentence had to be, and the script was reworked a few times to make sure that it fit into that, 3 minutes or whatever it is that's on Super 8 film.
Is there any wiggle room your end, or are you looking at each sentence and thinking, okay, so that has to be exactly 7 seconds, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to tweak it in my edit? Is that what you did?
No, what I did was I just recorded what I thought, or how I thought it should be, sent it to them, and they came back and said, okay, we need to make this sentence shorter, this sentence longer, cut this, add this.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I've had jobs like that before, and sometimes you think, oh, why are you taking that incredible line and making it much shorter? But actually, if it has to match the pictures, it has to match the pictures.
Yes.
Got to do what you got to do. And would you like to know the direction I was given or not?
Yeah, if it helps,
that would be
absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah, because the direction I was given was evil Terry Thomas.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
I wish I hadn't asked now.
I wasn't going to do that at all.
Sounds like a wild card, but
it does. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So really characterful, actually, because I wasn't going to do that at all.
Oh,
that's so interesting.
Fascinating. Okay. Sam, good luck.
Okay.
Let me guess.
Housemate used all your toothpaste again? Well, we can't have that.
She thinks she can get away with anything, doesn't she?
She knows you won't say anything because she knows you know it would only make things awkward, and
neither of you want that, do you? Here's what you do. Edible sugar paste. Fairly cheap online, mixed with a teaspoon of mint flavouring. The result is something that looks like toothpaste, tastes like toothpaste, but is detrimental for your gums.
Beautiful.
It's beautifully written. I like that. I think there was a real kind of evil that came out there because you were just looking at it and going, oh.
Well, I don't know if I was evil enough, actually, now you mentioned that.
I think you could have gone further, yeah.
Yes, I didn't, I got side-swiped by Terry Thomas and that kind of old school. And then I didn't think evil enough. But that's really interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, okay.
But it was remarkably good, I have to say.
Oh, bless you. But yes, but actually evil wasn't so evil. But it's a great end line. I was outraged by the end line.
Yeah, I wonder if the evil is in fact the second part of it, the second half perhaps.
Oh, the second half is brutal.
Yeah, totally. I like that, Sam. I think you went right down that path.
Okay, now I'm fairly disappointed actually with myself.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
But no, it's because it's such a lovely script. You kind of want to do it justice, don't you?
Yeah.
Go on then, I want to hear you do it.
Not sure I'm going to crack the evil Terry Thomas, to be honest. Right, okay, let's have a think. Let me guess. Housemate used all your toothpaste again. We can't have that. She thinks she can just get away with anything, doesn't she? She knows you won't say anything because she knows you know it would only make things awkward. Neither of you want that, do you? Here's what you do. Edible sugar paste. Fairly cheap online, mixed with a teaspoon of mint flavouring. The result is something that looks like toothpaste, tastes like toothpaste, but is detrimental for your gums.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Did you feel evil, or did you forget the evil as well?
No. I think in the final line and the penultimate line, it was just getting there to evil. I didn't forget it. I obviously didn't bring it hard enough for you.
Well, no, because I wondered if you didn't, because I think the thing is I don't know, you kind of, the script is so gorgeous that you almost forget you're a character. And was this part of a bigger piece, Richard?
Yes, so this was just the opening part. This is like the first 30 seconds of a 3-minute film.
Very, very cool. I'm so excited to hear you do it.
Okay, I have to get up on the mic for this.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Let me guess. Housemaid used all your toothpaste again. Well, we can't have that. She thinks she can just get away with anything, doesn't she? She knows you won't say anything because she knows you know it would only make things awkward. And neither of you want that, do you? Here's what you do. Edible sugar paste. Fairly cheap online. Mix with a teaspoon of mint flavouring. The result is something that looks like toothpaste, tastes like toothpaste, but is detrimental for your gums.
Yeah. Do you know what? The evil's in there, Sam, because of the proximity to the microphone.
Yes,
and
for sure.
Because you went close, you were much more conspiratorial than either of us. And that, I think, brought the evil out. The Terry Thomas is in there. When you went, we can't have that. Sorry, I'm just like, that was so good. It was so Terry Thomas. I really good. Really, really good.
So good.
So, yeah, it's difficult to read those last two lines without being evil, really.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes. That's why, actually, when I was looking at it before, I was thinking, gosh, this is a bitchy narrator. What a care.
Turns out that's the right whole point of it, isn't it?
Right. So that is the straight script part.
Straight-ish.
And now, well, yeah, pretty straight. And now it's the section of the show where anything can happen because it's the wildcard section. And today we are going to do something very exciting.
Yes.
We're going to use live the wildcard generator.
Yay!
Amazingly, Richard actually created the wildcard generator, or wild genometer, as we might call it from now on. Richard, let's have a play with it. What made you do? What possessed you to put them all together? Because I mean, we were laughing before the show that Richard is probably the only person that's listened to every single episode as carefully as I have. Not even Sam's done that.
No, I haven't.
No, well, when I was listening to the podcast, and every time I was fascinated to find out what the wild card would be.
You know, we just make it up on the spot, don't you?
Yeah. Okay. You always say at the end of the show, you know, the scripts are in the show notes and try it for yourself. And I thought, wouldn't it be really cool if I could do that wild card with that script? But what if I did the script from the other show with this wild card and thought, how could I do that?
Yeah.
And so I created this very simple spreadsheet.
I love it.
I have put it in the show notes before, but I'll put it in today's show notes as well so that everybody can have access to it. So it's really, really good. Richard, let's see what the wild genometer, or we can't call it that, the wild card generator gives Sam, shall we? So if you pick one for Sam and which script you would like her to do.
Okay.
It needs a sound effect, really, while we roll the wild genometer.
Yeah, so like a Wheel of Fortune thing or something.
Richard, roll the wildcard generator.
Okay, so Sam, your wild card is...
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
An 80s, 90s style Saturday morning kids TV presenter.
Oh, my goodness. Okay,
Let's face it, now, Sam, your background is children's BBC television, so you should know a fair thing about this.
Yes, but 80s and 90s.
Like Michaela Strachan, Zoe Ball, that kind of thing. You know.
Michaela Strachan. Okay. All right, then. That's cool. Which script?
I think it has to be script one.
Okay. Yes. Michaela would do this proud, I think. So but let's do it.
Airspace change is complex. It's highly technical and often difficult to understand. The MAT 1212 guidance isn't easy to navigate, along with the expectation to coordinate with neighbouring airports. Ed? No. Absolutely not. You're a small duck, but you're being very annoying. With the bar set high for stage 3 consultation, political engagement is key, Wilson. No. Local and surrounding authorities have strong opinions, not to mention high-profile MPs. And now, next, with the potential change of government before January 2025, the political picture is complicated. Roll credits.
Very peppy, just as it should be. I think it might have more been, rather than Ed the Duck, I think we might have been in the era of Gordon the Gopher there.
Yeah, you probably were, you see.
I loved Gordon. I absolutely adored Gordon.
Yeah, Ed, you're absolutely right. Ed was
Ed was slightly
Ed
later.
was 90s. No, on the contrary, Ed was 90s.
Yeah.
And the reason I know that is because I think about it, I worked for Children's BBC in 1991 and 92, and Ed was definitely in the office.
I like that, Richard. I think she kind of nailed the peppiness of the Saturday morning TV show.
Absolutely. I like the way it built up right towards the end as well.
Yes.
I was channeling Andy Peters, who used to introduce all the shows.
You've set a high bar now, Sam,
Really?
and Richard's going to do the next one. So I'm going to spin. You're doing the next one,
I'm
Richard.
terrified.
I am going to spin the random wildcard generator for you. So let's roll that sound effect. Right, it's come up with one that was from only a few weeks ago, but I think this will be highly amusing.
What is
to
it?
do script number 1 with.
Yeah.
It is the Middle Ages king. that Phil Rowe did as the Welsh king. You don't have to do it Welsh, but the Middle Ages proclaiming king. I think that's a great one.
Oh my God, that is perfect for you.
Okay, so king proclaiming something. Okay. Airspace change is complex. It's highly technical and often difficult to understand. The MAT 1212 guidance isn't easy to navigate, along with the expectation to coordinate with neighbouring airports and kingdoms. With the bar set high for Stage 3 consultation, political engagement is key. Local and surrounding authorities and kingdoms have strong opinions, not to mention high-profile MPs. And with the potential change of government before January 2025, the political picture is complicated.
Nice. I
Nice.
almost think you could have projected harder. It was nice. It was almost quite intimate with the people that you were talking to. If it was a bigger crowd, you may have kind of thrown it even a little bit further, mightn't you?
Yeah. I was doing it to the round table. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It was obviously to the people in the room. But of course, if you're the proclaiming king, it completely makes a mockery of that script, because who cares about Stage 3 consultation and high-profile MPs? It's what you say that goes.
Potential change of government, that's not going to happen under my watch.
Exactly right. Exactly. Really nice. And Sam?
Yes, I loved it. I know, and I was just thinking, don't criticise Mark, because he'll come back and bite you on your arse.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mark.
God's sakes. No, I loved it. I felt the rising excitement of the king. You were very regal, very regal.
I try.
Now, am I going to spin the wheel?
You are going to spin. So you're going to choose one for me, Sam. Okay. Yes, spin the wheel. Let's set that sound effect. Oh, what's it come up with?
Right. Well, we're going to do script 2.
Yes,
because we haven't done script 2, obviously. Okay. And you'll be happy to hear, a very excited Labrador.
It actually fits with this script, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I think, almost.
Genius.
Oh, a very excited Labrador. That was quite a while ago, the Labrador, wasn't it, I think?
That's why it's nice to revisit these things.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. It really is, which is why the wildcard generator is
I think we need to use the wildcard generator every week.
We might well do. We
might have to refresh it. Anybody can go in there and add stuff, I understand.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah,
yes, can anybody add to the wildcard generator?
Anybody can add to it, yeah.
Interesting. So we'll put the link in the show notes. That's dangerous, isn't it? So people can just add to it there. Wow, okay.
Absolute nonsense every week.
I love that. Right, okay. Excited Labrador. Let me guess. Housemate used all your toothpaste again. Here, we can't have that. She thinks she can just get away with it, doesn't she? She knows you won't say anything because she knows you would only make things awkward. And neither of you want that, do you? Here's what you do. Edible sugar paste. Fairly cheap online. Mixed with a teaspoon of mint flavouring. The result is something that looks like toothpaste, tastes like toothpaste, and is detrimental for your gums.
Oh, perfect, you see. You were an excited Labrador.
Brilliant.
You can't really be an evil excited Labrador because there's nothing evil about Labradors.
I know.
No.
Oh, I was literally laughing into the foam of my booth. It was like...
That was brilliant. Here's what you do.
But that is a Labrador, isn't it? It's like, look at me.
Absolutely. Edible sugar paste.
Yes. That's kind of what I was going for. I'm glad that came out. I'm glad that
Absolutely
Love
did,
it.
Yes, yeah, fantastic.
Well, of course, if you want to play along in the privacy of your own booths with the wildcard generator, we've put the scripts in the show notes and the wildcard generator link so you can have a try yourselves. And thank you, Richard, for doing that because it's amazing. Well
it's
done.
so good.
You're more than welcome.
How do you say that?
So then, to our very serious voiceover question this week.
serious.
What's your best hack when you have a tricky word to pronounce? Where do you look for the pronunciation and how do you remember it? Shall I go with my hack first? Because once I've looked it up, and I do use how do you say quite a lot after we found that out many, many weeks ago now. But if I have a tricky word to pronounce, I will spell it phonetically in the script. And I go in and I physically change the script to the phonetic spelling so that I get it right. I don't give myself the chance of going wrong with it. I do actually phonetically spell it on the script.
Oh, that's interesting.
You obviously don't do that.
Do you write it like as if it's an English word phonetically or actually use the IPA phonetic alphabet?
Oh, no. I just break it down to the sounds that I need.
Okay, yeah.
So you do, how'd you say that? Or how'd you say that? No, how'd you say that?
How'd you say?
What is it?
How'd you say? I
how'd you
look
say?
up things on how'd you say.
How'd you say? I like
and
it. I like
also
what you
the Youglish one. Youglish is phenomenal because it takes all of the YouTube pronunciation videos and it just plays you that clip of the video from YouTube. It's very clever because you
but
can
that's dangerous because YouTube isn't always right.
No, but you get 5 or 6 different people
Right,
saying it and then
okay.
you can choose kind of which one sounds the most likely.
Okay.
I will either watch a YouTube video or try and find a YouTube video where somebody says that word.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the name of a company or something like that that I've never heard of.
That can be a right pain, can't it?
But yeah, I can spend too long doing that.
Yeah.
But I also use howtopronounce.com.
Okay. I've not used that. How does that work?
You basically put in a word. It's basically designed for foreign words. So you put in a word and then say which language it's in, and then it'll bring up several different versions of that. And the great thing is that people can put recordings of it onto the website, and then they rate them. So you can see whether it's a good version or not.
Right.
Or a
I was
bad
going to say, because
version.
that can be quite dangerous as well, can't it?
Yeah.
And then how do you remember it on your script?
Because I speak Czech. Czech is a phonetic language. So you say what you see.
Oh, do you?
And so I very often write it as if it's a Czech word. Because Czech has, like, each letter is its own phoneme. So you have a long A and a short A and a long E and a short E and things like this. So it's very
clever.
easy to read.
I also use Forvo, which is good.
Forvo, yes, I've heard of that. Okay.
But and I've got an Oxford English dictionary with audio. That's really useful, and often absolutely flies in the face of how'd you say.
Interesting.
They don't always match.
No, indeed.
And then you have to go off and find it in a different way.
And then how do you remember it?
I usually use iAnnotate to annotate up scripts, and iAnnotate has got a little a recording bit in there where you can literally press on the recording bit and move the recording icon near to that word.
Oh, that's clever.
Cool.
So if I can see a little recording icon coming up, I stop and then just replay it to myself. It's me saying it.
Yep.
Replay it to myself before I do that.
That's
sentence.
a really clever tip for people, that.
I've just downloaded iAnnotate and I haven't had a chance to play with it yet.
Yeah, it's really
so I'm
good.
looking forward to that.
Well, that is a show full of extra information that we didn't know before. Fantastic stuff. Let me say a huge thank you to our guest, Richard Savage. Thank you, Richard. I hope you've enjoyed coming on.
It's been an absolute joy. Thank you very much.
We'll put all of your details in the show notes, along with all of those resources and the wildcard generator as well. So thank you so much again for doing that. It's just fantastic.
We'll use it weekly.
Yes, we will. Yes,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
And remember, you can subscribe to the podcast on your favourite podcast platform, and the latest episode will magically appear on your device every Friday.
You know it's not magic, right?
It
It's
is,
technology.
isn't it?
Of course
Technology,
it's
not
magic.
Oh dear. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks again to Richard for being a superb guest
Yes,
and very
thank you,
helpful with the wildcard generator. Tune in next week for more scripts and another fabulous voiceover guest when we'll be asking,
How do you say
that?
How do you say that?